YouTube, it's your host, the Gym Slasher, back again with yet another video. I appreciate you guys. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, give me unconditional love, and I give it right back. That being said, you read the thumbnail. This is called the Gym Hoarder. The Gym Hoarder. What do I mean by the Gym Hoarder? Let me give you a story, right? Very quick one, but a story nonetheless. About 2 weeks ago, I was in the gym. Typically, when I'm in the gym, I got my headphones in, vibing on the music, getting me pumped up, and just enjoying that. And so I usually view people and their mannerisms and all that just by, I can see them, I can't hear anything, got the, audio or sound reducer, setting on, which is one of the greatest inventions ever, because why not when you're in the gym? But either way, the last couple of weeks, I haven't had my headphones. I just actually got some new ones. So I was changing that up as well. So these last couple of weeks, I was without my headphones, which is kind of unique. I haven't done that in quite some time. So I was actually pretty intrigued by hearing my surroundings. And thankfully, the time that I go in the gym, time that I go in the area that I've currently been at, it's pretty quiet. You don't have, I work out very early in the morning. So you got the group that's in there, they're in there trying to get it in and pause, but they're trying to go ahead and work out and be on their way. So it's not a lot of people. It's not very big on, it's not commutative in terms of that, because most of us are still trying to wake up, if you will, right? So we're trying to get our workout and go on to start our day. That being said, there was a unique situation that happened about a week and a half. I said about 2 weeks ago. I think it was actually about a week, a little bit over a week ago. And I was on the bench actually, and there was a squats. There's a couple of squat racks that's right in front of me, and then there's mirrors right there. So I can see the mirrors basically behind. I can see people behind me by the mirrors that are in front of me through the squat rack, and then the bench is right there. And then you kind of, as soon as you sit up, you can kind of see between them. I say that because I was in between sets, and I kind of looked up, taking my breaths and making sure my breathing was right between sets. And I could hear, some chips, it was being a little chippy amongst two people that actually work out pretty routinely. I see them both there pretty much every time that I'm there. You know what I'm saying? So they're regulars, if you will, right? But I heard some chippiness, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I had to turn, I'm looking at the mirror. I'm like, oh, wait, am I really hearing that? So I turned to look behind me, and it's two gentlemen, and they kind of going back and forth. And I hear the one gentleman go, how many stations are you going to be on? Just, that's exactly how many stations are you going to be on? That's what he said. And and he's like, oh, I'm done with that one. But I need to do this and that. And the guy said it again, like, how many stations do you need? Like, clearly he was annoyed by it. And it seemed people kind of took a step back, because it just seemed like this was uncharacteristic from both people. So it fizzled out, and he just said, all right, I'm done with that. And you can have that, and I was looking at both of them, and I do recall seeing one gentleman. He does like to bounce around from station to station, and I in my head, he's usually out from my radius. So not to say I didn't care, but I noticed that he would do that. But in my head, I'm going, as long as you're not around my radius, man, do what you do. There's not as many people here at the time that I go, so it's fine. But I think he finally did his thing around somebody that wasn't going for it. You get what I'm saying? Like, they wasn't having it at all. And I think it might have ran its course, and maybe he was seeing the same thing that I was seeing from the gentleman that liked to bounce around. And I think he just had enough. I found that interesting, because that leads me to my peeve. This is for guys and girls. This has nothing to do with your gender or sex or whatever. It's just, again, back to that gym etiquette. You got to read the room, right? Like I was talking about the gym hoarder, the weight hoarder was grabbing all the weights. If you are the type that you're going in there to do different stations and do an all around, usually it's the gym person that is doing the all around gym workout, the upper body, lower body, core, everything. They're just doing the whole workout. And I've done that. I've done that workout. It's I actually enjoy doing that workout. I usually kind of do that. I've done that in times when if I was playing extracurricular sports, my rec sports and stuff, and the days just don't mesh right between playing those sports and then trying to work out either before or after. So I've done it to where I modified it to where I'm doing upper body and lower body on the same day and then play my sport the next day. And, or the next day I don't work out because I'm playing multiple sports that day. And then the following day back to an all around workout, so forth and so forth. Those are work. They're beneficial. And I could probably talk about that if you guys really want to hear more about what's the benefit of all around workouts. But that being said, it works, but you have to be really aware of your surroundings when you're doing that in a public gym. When you're doing that in a public gym, or in a public weights area, you have to be cognizant of the people that are around you, what time you're coming in on your workout. Are you coming in at peak time? That's that 4 to 6 hours in most gyms across America that got healthy, good business. It's that 4 to 6 range to where they're at their peak in terms of the amount of people that are working out at that time. You're doing an all-around workout. You have to be aware of that, and you have to be aware of your times. Now, just like this, he was doing it at an earlier time where there's less people, but you still have to be aware of people that are also lifting and the things that you're doing, right? So for myself, when I did all-around workouts, I did them in increments. You get what I'm saying? So if I'm on my legs, I'm doing legs. I'm not going to go from a leg machine or a leg or a squat rack to a bench, two of the most highest frequent areas in most gyms, and bouncing back and forth, knowing that other people are going to want to get on these stations as well. That's very inconsiderate. I'm not thinking about everybody else. In my own personal gym, that's one thing. But when you're in a public gym, you have to be aware and understand the personnel, understand what you're lifting and doing. Sometimes we get caught up in our own world, like the world don't exist around us. And like I said in the video before, orbiters, right? This world is not orbiting around us. We have to circumvent and navigate around the world, right? In the gym, that space is for everyone. So when you're going in there and you're going from one station and then you're getting upset about, why somebody went in here through your station, finish that station, then go to the next one. Finish your reps and sets there, go to the next one. Don't go here, go to the leg press machine and then go to the dumbbells here and then set your water on the bench. And then you get mad because somebody's standing there, or you just oblivious and someone like myself or others want to go to that one bench that's available, but it's a water bottle on it, or it's a phone or a towel. And everybody's looking around trying to find out whose stuff is this, because you ain't seen them in 5, 10, 15 minutes. That's a long time. When a person is lifting 5 minutes, 10 minutes, it's a long time. Typically you can run through 3 sets of even 12 in 5 minutes and move on. So that 5 minutes or that 10 minutes you're taking from that area is taking time from somebody else being able to use that and then keep going. What I have done in terms of my experience and what I've done in that time, when I've noticed the gym hoarder, right? They feel like the whole gym is theirs to have. I've done it where I've got to the point where I know, okay, they're bouncing around. I need this bench. Somebody else is doing this and doing that. I'll go over and ask them. You don't want to be rude or disrespectful, because again, energy transferred is energy received. So if I come off crazy, I should expect crazy to come back. So for myself, I'll just go, hey, what's up? Hey, you using that bench over there? Is I know you was over here. Mind if I use that? I'll put your phone, or I'll set it on the side, but I just want to get it. I got my towel. I got, my own sanitation. I'll clean it off when I'm done, but I just need to get going. Typically, 9 times out of 10, they generally are pretty cool about it, to be honest with you. They're, oh man, yeah, you go ahead. Yeah, I'm almost done anyway. So you'll get a time where they'll roll their eyes or have somewhat of an annoyance of, but as long as they are doing it and going, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you go ahead. Take that as a win. You don't have to, hey, I don't like the way you looked at me like that, or I don't like your rolling your eyes at me, or whatever. Don't even, if they said cool, move their stuff, get your work in and get moving. If you feel uncomfortable with doing that, go downstairs or wherever. I said downstairs, but I'm thinking of my gym. But go to the front desk, get a trainer or get somebody that's working there and tell them the situation so that they can go and say, hey, can you move your stuff, or when are you done with that? When you call to light that, sometimes they realize they may get, no one has reached out to them, and they don't realize how bad they're doing this until somebody actually basically like calls them out on it. You know what I'm saying? And make them aware of, oh, wow, somebody does have an issue with it. You may see a change in them the next day or the next time you see them at the gym, where they won't be as bouncing around everywhere. Sometimes they just need that calling out, if you will, to say, hey, you got to chill with this. And like I said, if you're not comfortable with doing that, because you may want to avoid a confrontation and all that, just go to, you know what I'm saying, the front desk, or bring the clerk in, bring one of the personal trainers or something like that that's usually there, and then they can go and talk with them and stuff and get that going. But be aware of your surroundings, be respectful of other people's time and resources, be respectful of your area, be aware the gym is not just yours. When you're in a public gym, it's it's for everyone. Control your stations, one station at a time, you'll be fine. All right, with that being said, who are you? What is your mission? Appreciate you guys for watching. It's your boy, CJ. Go on.